I thought this was supposed to be about gold and silver. Where?
All right. It's a little dark in here, but we're going to go anyway. What's up? Hit the bid. We are live making a video today for all the cretins on YouTube that still want to just watch the video and not participate in the wonderful world of me, the all-knowing master, the Jesus Christ of Wall Street, the Abraham of assets, the Barack of bread, the Cain of cash, the David of ducats, the Elijah of earnings, the Frank of funds, the Glick of gold, the Harry of having money. All right, I'll stop right there. So isn't it cute how the market attempts to go down every day and fails to go down? So right now we're preparing for a market sell-off, but we're not positioning anything. We're cautiously optimistic, as they like to say on the CNBC, but whether or not you're watching the charts or listening to the oscillation guy, the market's obviously not going up too much. It's gradually going up, but it's certainly not falling down. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the conquering of the UVXY, SVXY, and maybe you guys saw my post on Stock Twits where I bought 210,000 shares of UVXY at 940. Now, the reason I said I was buying 210,000 shares was just so at least one or two of you out there would have been like, what? Huh? Is he really buying that? So you would say, at least question that. Wait a minute, don't you hate the UVXY? Aren't you SVXY for life guy? Well, there comes a time where every trade has run its course. And due to the fact that the market looks like it might want to go down, I thought for a second, well, the first thing that we did is we sold the last of the SVXY that we had held in the Glick fund from around $42. That we sold it around 61 the other day. And it did go up a couple more points after we got out, but that's always part of the game. But congratulations for my dad who listened and decided to hang on to some for all this time. We also had the USO with a cost average of $8.35, which they did sell a ton of them at $11.20 about 3 weeks ago when I got called away on some options. But their price target of $12.50 for July 1st is uncannily, is that even a word? But it's coming true. Now we're still in the USO and we're looking for that $12.50. Now it doesn't have to go to $12.50. We wrote $12.50 calls for July hoping to be called away, and we're still in some of that. But let me just make one thing abundantly clear. I don't have any UVXY now. That was the trade for that day. We were trying to bottom fish it at around 940, 950, and we thought maybe possibly it could squeeze to 9. Wait, hang on a second. I think my machine just broke. I'm not sure if the clip stopped working, but that should be funny in the video later. But what was my point? Oh, right. The point is we won. And there's nothing you could do about it. So SVXY could take a big dump, couldn't give a shit. It could rally 20 points, don't care. It's only for trading right now. So UVXY had a nice move into the close. I think it was that was yesterday? I don't know, it's all a blur. Because it's always the same handful of stocks that I'm trading and watching, trying to get the same result. Day trading for me hasn't been friendly over the last 3 weeks, but what has been friendly is believing in the bull market and believing in the stocks that I own and buying more on dips and then selling into the up move. And then every once in a while we find a stock like Devon Energy, like yesterday, where topped out and it was a decent short idea. And again, for your day traders, it was a pretty good trade when it broke the VWAP and went negative. We also had the WLL, the MRO, all kind of were decent shorts, but that's what I'm not going to talk about. Right now, I'm still biased to the long side. So why wouldn't I own SVXY still? It's because I think that I want to wait for the UVXY to be readjusted back up, so then we could start shorting that on the way back down again. And at this point, I think there could, and I know this is crazy talk, but maybe the UVXY tacks on another buck or two here. Not saying to buy it, not thinking that this might happen, but it could happen. So why not take the money off the table while you got the money, claim victory, and then once again, there's nothing you can do about it. So let me reiterate. If SVXY goes down 10 tomorrow, here's my finger, and think of my finger when you take a branch or a tree or a log and shove it up your ass. So SVXY can suck balls for all I care. UVXY could suck it also, because I'm no longer in either. Now hang on, I gotta wait for the video to refresh. All right, so we're having some issues with the tech. We're having some technical difficulties with the videographer today. Considering I'm using my original Mac to make these videos on from 2008, it's amazing that this thing still works, and that's why, you know, even though I was pissed when Apple took my Apple Maps away and changed it to Google Maps, I was pissed that day I made that video. But I still am a big fan of Apple products. Hence, the Mac right there, the Mac I'm using, and the laptop that I own, and all that other great stuff. But here's what I want to talk about. Whoa, look at that now. My computer is officially gone haywire. I wish I could show you what's going on my screen right now. It is fantastic, especially if you've ever taken acid. It's all kind of blurry. Look at this. Check this out. Look at that. My computer's bugging.
Whoa.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I wonder, hopefully this comes out on the video. Woo! It's like trailing in all different colors. Maybe it's just me. Isn't that sick? I hope it comes out on the video. All right, well, if it doesn't, you'll just have my daughter's hand go. Wow, that is so damn cool. So as I'm praising Apple, this might be the last day of this Mac. And you know what? It served its purpose. It's done its job. I actually am somewhere on record for finding a glitch in their audio system, because there was a combination when you put your computer on and you turned on the camera. If you had, I think, another window open, you got this audio feedback, and I sent a complaint to Apple, and they told me that I had discovered a glitch in the software, and they you know, I sent my computer, they had to fix it, and they sent it back, and they said that somewhere in the log books of Apple Computer, they made a note that I discovered something. It's like finding a star or an asteroid. Anyway, so once again, SVXY, you can take a big dump on it, I don't care. Mock it. If you want to mock me now, you want to make fun of this guy right here, make fun of me still owning Alcoa. But you know what? I'm holding on for the split. I'm dying to see how this thing pans out. So I still got the Alcoa, and I'm losing money on it. You know how much money? I'm down a whopping point. There you go. I'm down a point. Whoa. And the WLL, right? I did sell the majority of it 12.5, but it was a great position. Bought it at 12.5, went up for a day or so, and then started tanking. We bought on the way down. Next thing you know, we sold it all pretty much at $12.50, but I still have a little bit left. So if WLL goes back to 10 bucks, there you have it. You can officially mock my ass. All right, so we still got the Alcoa, and we still got the WLL. Let's talk about FEYE. Are we complaining that it's down 50 cents today? Who gives a shit? I think the stock's getting taken over at $25 a share. Maybe next month. Maybe 8 months from now. Maybe a year and a half from now. But you know what? We bought the stock at $13.50. It hit 17. We sold some of it. We still own it. So if FEYE goes down 10 points tomorrow, you have my permission to then mock my ass. As the Qs are still over 110. And again, we are positioned in a short strangle position. And I'll explain this to you. We've been selling calls, meaning that we don't want it to go too high. But we've also been selling puts, so we don't want it to go too low. But if the Qs stay between the range of, let's call it 100 and 115 for the next couple of months, which is what I'm thinking, we might just stay range bound for the summer. Chances are all those options, and if you don't know, a short strangle is when you sell a call and you sell a put, and you hope the stock stays in between, both sides expire, and you make money. So if the QQQ breaks out past 115, you know that I might be having some issues because I'm naked a bunch of calls. But before it gets there, I'm probably going to start getting out of it if the Qs break over the 111. Or I might even wait to 112.50. Because while the Qs are going up, I'm going to be making money on the puts that are now becoming less in value. That is the idea of the short strangle. As my kids, and by the way, I have a new dog in the house, and my life has been turned upside down. And it's no joke. So if you're thinking about getting a dog, think about whether or not you want another child in your life. And if you don't want another kid in your life, maybe you shouldn't get a dog. Because it really is the same exact thing. Except at least your kid could wear a diaper and your new dog tends to just shit in the house and there's really nothing you can do about it. So there you go. What else do we own? Rig. We're waiting for Rig to break the $10.20 mark for a couple of weeks. It broke it, came back. We were losing money on the Rig. And then it finally broke the 10.20. We bought more at 10.50. And we still own the Rig. So that would be RIG. So if RIG tends to go down to 9.50, you know that I'm suffering. So if you want to mock me, mock the Rig. So I'm setting myself up here for all you people out there that root the demise of me and my friends and my well-being, albeit maybe 5 of you out there. Used to have a lot of people that for some reason didn't like the fact that I was Jewish or bald or, you know, you do remember the original videos. It was me losing money for 2 years. That was fun, right? You liked when I told those stories, right? But now that I tell you that I do, and I'm not saying I'm making a tremendous amount of money here. I got a whopping 300 shares of Rig right now. Ain't going to change my life if it goes to 0, and it's not changing my life if it goes to 17.50. I'm just trying to make a living and show people how to do it at the same time. But if you were out there and you still want to mock me and ridicule me, go ahead. Because guess what? My wife is still hot at 45 years old, and she's promising me some marital relations tonight. So I got that going for me, and guess what? You don't. But if you want to mock me and make fun of me and my wife and my kids and how awesome my life is, go ahead. Because I don't think any of you cretins on YouTube could really affect what I do. As much as I love making these videos as if you're really getting under my skin. Oh, you called me an idiot on YouTube. Goo. I'm so sad and upset. I don't know what to do with myself. Maybe I should go wallow. Maybe I should go pretend that I'm sad. Oh. Maybe I'm just disguising my horrible life, right? It's all a mystery, right? This is my parents' basement that I live in. I don't even have kids or a dog or a house or 3 or 4 buildings. I have none of that. It's all been a lie. But you know what? You'll never know the truth about my trading unless you show up. And guess what, kids? Guess what? Guess what, kids? Guess what? Now, I think I've been making this video without actually having the audio on in my room this whole time, which would be pretty upsetting. And I think it might have been the case. I don't know if you guys were hearing me this whole time, but I've been going off for about 14 minutes. Okay, I'm an idiot. I think it was off and then it was on again. All right, but they've heard all this stuff before anyway. So there you go. There's the portfolio. We got the Q short straddles. Let me reiterate, UVXY or SVXY doesn't exist in this dojo anymore. We got the FEYE. We got the Rig. Oh, we got some AMD also, because I think they get bought out eventually also. Everything I own, I still think there's a takeover possibility. The ACAD, ACAD, still got a little bit of that left. And when I say a little bit, 100 shares. So if ACAD proceeds to go down 10 points tomorrow, you have my permission to make fun of me. But until, see, I'm setting it up for you. I'm setting it up for you. I'm giving you the stocks that I own. I'm telling you where I think they're going to go. So if I'm wrong, now remember, if FEYE goes down 50 cents tomorrow, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. I think the stock's going to be a $20 stock sometime this year. Or if it goes below, and again, I'm not going to give you the exact price where I'm thinking about dumping it, but mind you, I'm in at $13.30. Mind you, so if I do wind up selling it at 15 and sacrifice $1.50 here and I do get stopped out, I think it's around $14.85 is my danger zone, whatever. And if I tend to get out of any of these stocks lower than where they are today, guess what, friends? I'm still making money on them because I got my boys, and I've been talking about this rig trade and this FEYE trade and this ACAD trade for weeks now. Now let's talk about something I'm thinking about buying. I'm liking the pod again. I'm liking the ATI here. All right? Now, reminding you once again, I don't own these. I'm thinking about buying them. The only way you're going to know exactly when I buy them, again, you could just come to the website. And again, to all you skeptics out there and non-believers and just doomsday assholes, oh, I'm also buying a ton of gold and silver and bullets for the end of the world. Am I pretending that I'm buying gold, silver, and bullets? You won't know. You won't know unless you show up. And that's the fascinating part about all of this. You're out there. You doubt me. You're a skeptic. You don't want to believe. You do realize the room's free, right? You could come for a month. I won't say a word. Some of these guys have been hanging out with me for 2 months because I'm on a freaking bender trying to prove my worth. And they know who I'm talking about. But if you can't see what I provide over a 2-month period, and remember, forget that. I'm good at not trading. I'm also actually a professional non-trader. I know when stocks are in a range where you're probably going to wind up losing money, so why not just sit here and talk about guns or sports or farting or frogs? Doesn't matter. Anything to prevent you from losing money, that's my job. And it's very difficult not to trade. It's like sitting at the blackjack table, not playing a hand. But at least at the blackjack table, you get a girl to come behind you, give you a back rub, maybe bring you a drink, pretend that she really likes you for an extra $50. Here you're sitting alone in your underwear, you're dying to do something. But my job is to tell you, hey, you know what? Today doesn't look like it's that kind of day. Maybe let's just wait it out and see what happens tomorrow. And if we don't trade tomorrow, who cares? But the thing is, this market has still been blessing us with these nice pullbacks to buy stocks that you like, and you wait a day or two and they go up. So one more reminder for the guys in the room. The Glick Fund is officially out of the SVXY for the first time. And I was out of the SVXY personally. The Glick Fund, meaning the family fund, which is controlled by my dad, who makes all the money because he's got patience. He's the one who had the USO position. He figured he'd buy the USO, and if he had to wait 10 years for this thing to get back to $12.50, he was willing to wait for a 50% return. Well, he'd wait 4 years. And next thing you know, they're selling at $11.20, and now they got the $12.50 calls, I believe, for July. But my dad represents what everybody could do. I give him some good ideas. He says, I like that idea. I'm in. Like the rig. I think the rig's going to $17. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Maybe by the end of the year. So again, if rig tanks and goes all the way back down to 10.20, I'm still making money on it. Well, I'll be flat at 10.20. But if it goes to 9.50, I'm still thinking about buying more. But if you see rig under 9.50, you could say, Kenny, shitty call, you're the worst. Even though it's 1 out of 1,000 calls that I've made that might be losing money. Because at this point, I don't know, let's recap. I don't know, anybody short the Fitbit at $30 and we covered that at 15? That was a pretty sweet trade. Did anybody buy the SVXY at 35 and blow it out at 40 like I did? But thankfully, my dad, I convinced him, just buy 300 shares. The stock will be $60 by July. And he finally ponied up the cash and he held it the whole time. God bless him. So, if you're really going to be a trader and if you're really going to start judging my performance, it has to be across all board, the whole board. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Day trading for me over the last 3 weeks has sucked. The only saving grace was, well, first knowing my dad was loaded up on USO and SVXY this whole time was pretty exciting. But my portfolio, my QQQ position, as long as it doesn't break out or break down, we make money on that every day, selling the short straddles. The rig's up, the FEYE's up, the ACAD is up. So again, if you want to mock me on something, I just gave you plenty of ammunition. So your FEYE, your rig, your WLL, your QQQ, we got some AMD, and obviously the Alcoa. I'm probably forgetting something because I've got 9 different accounts. I put stocks in my kids' accounts, my wife's account. You got the Glick Fund, you got my personal account. I got 9 different accounts. So, oh yeah, right, the Cliff trade that I got everybody involved in. And this was a stock that I despised. Remember, at $4.31? If it breaks $4.31, you're probably going to see 5. I didn't even look at that. Thanks for reminding me, man. And then also the concept that the market never goes down. And still, right now, when the Qs are at 110.25, I could still say the market never goes down. It never goes down. It never goes down until it does. And when it does go down, guess what? You're not going to be able to mock me then. Because the guys in my room will be watching if the UVXY starts to go up, and then we'll be shorting stocks. So if I make a video saying how the market never goes down, and the next day it goes down, do you really think it matters? Unless you decided to open up an account that afternoon and your first trade was buying the Qs and they went down $1 the next day, I don't think anybody's in that boat. Because over the last however many years I've been doing this, the majority of what I've been saying has been pretty accurate, and there's no denying it. Go watch the other 7,000 videos. Go ahead. So all the videos that I said when the market's never going to go down, and we went down the next day, where did we end up? Where did we end up? We are a whopping 5 points off all-time highs. Well, all-time highs for most of you on the Qs. 120 is the real all-time high, where I think we're going to go by the end of the year. But again, all said and done, I've been saying how this market's never going down. The QQQ are 5 points off 15-year highs. So I've been pretty goddamn right about that too also. And me saying SVXY for life, pretty damn accurate on that motherfucker also, considering the thing just went from 30 to 60. And once again, go find something sharp in your backyard, if you even have a backyard, you cretin bastards. Go find something sharp and shove it up your ass, because there's nothing you could do to faze me, but I can mock your ass, because I know for a fact my life is probably way, way better than yours. And you gotta deal with that. And that's why you put stupid comments on YouTube videos, because you're a loser. And you're always gonna be a loser. And guess what? I'm still fairly good looking. You're probably an ugly mutt. And once again, there's nothing you could do about that too. Oh, how it must burn. How ugly and awful your life is. And there's nothing you could do about it. Aw, so pathetic. Go post some more comments on YouTube, you douchebag.